I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine waking up free from CPTSD. Imagine waking up and feeling lighter, calmer, and more in control of your life. No more spiraling anxiety, exhaustion, or feeling like no one gets it. Look, I know this sounds like a flippin' fairy tale, and let me guess, your life feels more like a horror movie stuck on repeat? Trust me, I get it. For 37 years, I was stuck living in Freddy Krueger's Groundhog Day.
Now that's a bitch!
Sorry about that. Now that's a bitch!
Living one crisis to the next, working twice as hard as everyone else around me, and only getting half as far. I was exhausted. I felt left out and left behind, and I couldn't seem to break the cycle. I felt like I was absent the day they handed out the secret handbook to happiness. My body was exhausted, my mind was constantly racing, I was broke and broken, and my relationships were more toxic than Chernobyl. It felt like no one understood what I was experiencing, and it felt like everything was the hardest thing ever. My childhood trauma had set the trajectory of my life, and I was spiraling fast. And then, as if it couldn't possibly get any worse, well, of course it did, so trigger warning, I was almost unalived. Apparently my childhood trauma needed a friend. So after surviving and attempted at 37 years old, I was diagnosed with CPTSD. I was already exhausted, frustrated, lonely, and feeling so misunderstood, and my dreams were slipping further and further away. I knew that my trauma was ruining my whole life, and that if something didn't change, I wasn't going to survive a next time. Now, let me tell you, there is nothing more motivating than pain, but nothing more debilitating than fear. And I was stuck in the middle. So I spent the next 10 months reading and researching and trying everything I could. And then I realized that I had been doing it wrong my whole life and that there was a much simpler way. And it was actually kind of fun, which is why I kept going. And guess what? It worked. My CPTSD diagnosis erased. So yes, I want you to imagine waking up comfortable in your own body, energized and motivated to do life with confidence and a sense of security, with focus and clarity. Because it's pretty rad and it's totally possible. No fairy godmother required. So after I figured out how to erase my CPTSD diagnosis, I started helping others. And over the last 6 years, I have helped countless women do it too. And I get messages like this. I had no idea that this was what I needed the whole time. I've been struggling for years and I could never seem to get my shit together. I finally feel like I'm in control of my life. I'm literally crying. Thank you so much. And messages like this. Thank you so much for hearing me out. You're the first person I've spoken to that actually gets trauma. And this one from one of our clients who followed one of the exercises in our program and said, and that's exactly what you told me to do. And after removing the in my life, I feel much better. And have a listen to this message from our client, Adriana.
I keep noticing now my body, right? Even when I wake up, I haven't woke up freaked out the way I told you I normally do in so long. I now understand myself. But now I'm really understanding this whole vagus nerve ideology we're talking about, and it just, my body feels so calm. I don't know what the fuck you did, but thank you for helping me realize a block.
Look, I know that trauma sucks, but healing, if you do it the right way, is actually fun. You will finally be able to regain control of your mind, your body, and say goodbye to overwhelming anxiety, chronic fatigue, brain fog, that little voice inside your head that fills you with doubt. You'll finally be seen and heard. You'll be able to set bulletproof boundaries, eliminate toxic connections, and build an unbreakable support system of people who have always got your back. And you'll be able to turn survival mode into success mode. You'll unlock clarity and focus and find effortless motivation and energy to complete tasks and reach your goals. This isn't about managing trauma and learning better coping mechanisms. It's actually about resetting your trauma brain. It's you minus trauma. So what is Break Free from CPTSD? At Survivor School, we run a 6-week live cohort designed for women with CPTSD and sexual trauma who are ready to ditch their trauma symptoms and reclaim their lives. We don't do the old talk about your feelings for hours stuff. We get straight to the source, your nervous system. And we use brain science to do what we call a neurocognitive reset. It's gonna be fun. Here's how it works. First, we re-regulate your nervous system and turn down the stuck survival response in your brain. So no more living in survival mode, on high alert, and never being able to relax. Next, we recode your survivor security system. This is the internal and external security resources that allows you to connect with and trust the right people, and also see red flags and set boundaries with the wrong ones. And oh yeah, you actually get your needs met too. The next step is to realign your cognitive compass. This means turning back on the parts of your brain that have been frozen. And this allows you to get laser focused and aligned with your purpose. It gives you the energy and motivation to not just get out of bed and put pants on, but to actually reach your goal. This system allows you to take back control of your whole life, your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your happiness. So here's why this works when nothing else has. Did you know over 70% of trauma survivors don't get the results they're hoping for in traditional therapy? In fact, according to Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, the author of The Body Keeps the Score and a leading expert in trauma recovery, As many as 70% of people with PTSD do not benefit from conventional talk therapy. And most therapies ignore the role of the body in healing trauma. In addition to talk therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, there's medications, which are aimed at turning down the volume of the symptoms, but are not only cost prohibitive and often need constant adjustment, they come with some debilitating side effects that can leave you feeling like a zombie. Most trauma treatments are focused on coping with the symptoms instead of addressing the root cause. Now, this is like taking the batteries out of the smoke detector because you don't like the noise, but your kitchen's on fire. Instead, we go right to the source and put out the fire using applied neuroscience techniques to reset the 7 executive functions in your brain and body so you can actually get results that stick. This will literally change your brain. These are actual brain scans from one of our clients taken 11 weeks apart that show a clear reduction in anxiety and better cognitive function. In this program, you will learn the 3 simple rules of your brain's operating system that will finally explain why nothing else has worked. This is the key to unlocking your full potential and breaking free from survival mode for good. We do all of this with simple, fun exercises that are easy to do, even if you can't get out of bed. Look, it's a complete myth that healing is hard. Did you know the average woman spends 7 years in therapy, often feeling little or no results? But with this program, you can feel changes within the first week. And here's what happens in as little as 6 weeks. During the first 2 weeks, you'll get immediate relief, less anxiety, better sleep, less physical symptoms, and more emotional control. Within 3 to 4 weeks, your confidence soars, your relationships improve, and your decision-making becomes much easier. And by the end of 6 weeks, you will feel in control of your brain, your body, and your future with clarity, focus, and endless motivation to achieve your goal. Every week, you will hit new milestones and feel proud of yourself. Just like Andriana. When she came to me, she was at rock bottom, diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar disorder, battling crippling anxiety, and stuck in the endless cycle of medication roulette. She'd spent years in therapy, only to be told that she had a chemical imbalance and would never fully heal. But she wasn't willing to accept that she was stuck this way forever. And I am so proud to share that today she is completely medication-free and experienced a radical transformation that even her family has noticed. And she's finally in control of her brain, body, and life. You can check out her survivor success story below. Look, we get it. Trauma makes everything feel like it's 10 times harder. But don't worry. We're all about making it easy and fun. You'll feel results in as little as 10 minutes a day. Okay, this isn't one of those cheesy late night infomercials, but for real, most of these exercises actually only take a few minutes and you'll feel results instantaneously. But there is a catch. You do need to be willing to dedicate about 2 to 3 hours a week to the group and to do your homework. We meet 1 to 2 times a week within a group of your peers. And we start off with simple exercises that really do take less than 10 minutes a day. That's it. But don't worry, you're not in this alone. A huge part of your success will be your support system. And we've got that for you too. You will get one-on-one support with a survivor success coach to help guide you whenever you need it. We have weekly live sessions and Q&A calls, so you'll know exactly what to do next. Plus, we get together every week for a Calm the F Down Friday session, which is real-time group co-regulation sessions. You'll love these. You'll also have access to a private peer community for accountability and encouragement. And you'll have access to the Survivor School Resource Library with masterclasses and workshops led by over 20 trauma-informed experts on topics in all of the 4 pillars: health, wealth, relationships, and growth. We meet you where you're at and help you level up. You'll start with simple, fun exercises and then build as your nervous system resets. And did I mention it's fun? When you join Break Free from CPTSD, you're going to get a personalized recovery strategy, which is a fully personalized assessment and curriculum. You're going to know exactly what to focus on each week that's tailored to your specific needs and goals. Plus, you'll get a 1-year GPS roadmap to make sure you reach your bag. Those are your big ass goals. I know you've got them. They've just felt out of reach. You'll also get a lifetime membership to Survivor School, including monthly live masterclasses and workshops to help you keep the momentum going and heal every part of your life. We believe in you 100%. And we're not just saying that. When you join Survivor School's Break Free from CPTSD, you're in for life. And here's your insurance policy. You'll get one-on-one support whenever you need it. You can reach out to your Survivor Success Coach for periodic check-ins or guidance as needed. You'll get direct access to the expert partners in weekly Ask Me Anythings and Talkback sessions in health, wealth, relationships, and happiness. The experts are here for you to check in and answer your questions. Need a refresher? You can join any future cohort for free because we get it. Sometimes life gets messy and we've got you covered. You'll also be part of a peer community that never expires because healing is a group effort. You will build bulletproof relationships with other survivors and you will have lifetime access to a growing community of women who have always got your back. Plus, you will get invites to exclusive Survivor School adventures and retreats. If you are ready to break free from CPTSD, you've got this and we've got you. Spots are super limited, so click below to apply now.